thanks to Sipet and Dr. Irfan that they are also kind enough to request me for delivering presentation. And this is one kind of pet topic for me, this waste management and recycling. And I've been working since my Sipet days also in this area. So I love to talk on this topic, but my role is not on waste management because my current job is in Lohia Corp, which is a machinery manufacturing company. So we are having a training center for raffia training. But anyhow, I am pursuing or continuing my interest in the area of this waste management. And just give me a minute. I will try to share my presentation. I think hopefully this time I should be able to share. I think you are able to see my presentation, everyone.
Yes. Yes.
So I think thanks, Dr. Irfan. I think this time I managed. Last time you have done job for me, but hopefully this time I will be able to flip through my slide myself. And so let us begin today's topic. This is very important topic. Everyone is aware that today this plastic waste management is debated across the globe. It is not only we are debating only in India, it is being debated across the globe. And the terms like single-use plastic, marine pollution, microplastic, circular economy, this all have become so significant, not only for academia, even for industry, the whole plastic fraternity. So let me start with one slide. So sometimes people think that this waste management or sustainability is only the talk of today, but that's not true. Why plastic waste management or recycling? So sometimes the answer could be, okay, this is for clean environment and sustainable future of the modern civilization. But when we are talking this now only, maybe for last 5-6 years, more about sustainability or circular economy. But let me, we should always feel proud that whatever that civilizations even in ancient time also were aware about this. So I am just there are 3 quotes given from different holy text. First I am quoting Holy Quran, chapter 15. It says that uncorrupted water is the sign of paradise. If one wants to improve his way of life to match the high quality of the most perfect, one should stop polluting water. See, this is written in Quran long back, thousands of years earlier. And now also we talk about stop marine pollution, sea pollution. Then comes to Holy Bible. Bible says, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Today also when we talk about microplastic, we are trying to prevent our fish of the sea. We say that this microplastic is being consumed by sea animal and sea fish, these fishes and whatever that sea inhabitants are there. And because of that, this microplastic have become an issue which is debated across the globe. Then comes, we talk about Atharveda, Prithvi Sukta. Prithvi Sukta also say, O pure earth, may that we utilize your soil well without causing you injury or disturbing any vital element in you. So why sometime I always quote in my presentation this ancient, this holy text and try to impress upon everyone that though our ancient and our forefather, everybody, they were aware about this. And now we are again talking in a renewed sense, like United Nations and everybody, we started talking about environmental sustainability. So this is the ancient world has taught us. Now comes to today's world. What we are talking about, we are talking about 17 sustainable development goals. Now we come to this first slide was related to what ancient world has taught us. Now we will be talking that what United Nations, what is the United Nations 2030 agenda, which is in 2015 all countries they have signed, and we say that this is the agenda for people, planet, and prosperity. So there are 17 sustainable development goals. And which goals are important for us related to plastic waste management? If you see that Sustainable Development Goal 12, 12 talks about responsible consumption and production. Again, when you talk, the SDG 13 talks about climate action, 14 talks about life below water, and 15 SDG talks about life on the land. And these all are related to our plastic waste or plastic pollution. So this is the global challenge when we talk about this. This is recently when UN has published a report on plastic pollution. And it was in that report, they say that 75% of plastic ever produced has become waste and volumes are rising quickly. Then the statement is that the global production of plastic is currently, it is 2018 statistics, around 450 million metric ton. And if present growth continues, then it is projected that it will become triple by 2050 or 2060. They say the waste is going to be, if suppose we are not controlling plastic waste, so and globally we are mismanaging plastic waste, then the forecast is that this all waste will be triple by 2060. And the largest use of plastic is packaging. As per UN report in 2018, 13.6% of all primary production of plastic waste was used for packaging. And plastic packaging typically, which has a very short in-use lifetime, only around 6 months or less, and sometimes are even used and disposed of within few hours. You know that now even in Corona period, we have used to go for this all shortcut. Whenever you order a food item from Swiggy or Zomato, you will find that all nice, that whatever that plastic cup, plates, everything comes the takeaway container and immediately we throw after using that. So this has become, that's how this single-use plastic and all the term has become in forefront. And everybody, the whole world started talking that we have to control this single-use plastic. And packaging is the dominant generator of plastic waste, responsible for 46% of the global total in 2018. And this I'm talking about the waste. If you you try to calculate how much of the plastic packaging waste would be, so it is around 46% of plastic waste is related to packaging material only. And again, though we always sometime when we talk about ages, we say bronze age, metal age, stone age, and now we really live in plastic age. So plastic is everywhere. So this is again based on the UNEP report of 2020. They have tried to they tried to give a accounting of different sector, like building construction, 16% plastic is used, electrical and electronic 4.3%. Here the important is plastic packaging, they say 35.8%, that means close to 36%. Textile is 14.8%, and it was 453 million tons of plastic was produced. And what is the generation of waste? This is a global, this is not Indian figure. Indian figure also I am going to tell. This is based on UNEP report of 2020. They say around 342.6 million ton plastic waste was generated. And here you see 46% is packaging. Packaging waste is more than 14.9% is textile. And if you talk about that, how plastic waste was managed globally. So we say that globally only 21.3% plastic waste was recycled. So 53 point just discarded, 21.8% was incinerated. So this is an issue. Globally, people are telling that we have to increase recycling, this particularly this 53.8%, which is discarded. That is creating a huge problem everywhere. And we say that there are top 20 rivers, they are polluted with plastic waste. That waste goes to ocean, and that's how this marine pollution and marine plastic, microplastic, all debate is going on across the globe. This is another you can say representation, graphic representation. This is from the latest report of UN, that is 2021 only it was published. They say, what is the business case for UN Treaty on Plastic Pollution? So they have again analyzed, and this particular graph, you don't think that this is a production. They say that every year plastic is, when we start producing, so what will be the cumulative global plastic production? That will be in billion metric tons. And they have, based on 2018, they have quantified that how much is going to be, how much billion ton of plastic might have been produced in this globe, cumulative, continuously of all different years. And out of that, mostly become waste. They say 75% of plastic is eventually the cumulative it produced, since 75% of plastic mostly become waste, and plastic waste is discarded in the environment is around 1/3. And this is again, how much is that? They have told that how much million ton of plastic which goes into the ocean. Then what is the effect on the wildlife? 914 species affected by plastic debris, including all sea turtles, threatening the whole food chain. They say that 12 or 25 top global sea fishing species were reported to contain microplastic. That means inside the fish, you find that there are microplastic particles. So that is quite alarming. And whole globe is, that's how they are debating that how to prevent that this plastic should not go to the river, and it should not, and then finally it should not end up in a, and we should not intentionally or unintentionally any kind of plastic should not be leaked into the environment. That is the global theme. That's how we are talking about circularity. In March 2019, this is a UNEP resolution by addressing single-use plastic. They have resolved. And one key, I am not going to read everything because you will be able to, I think presentation also Dr. Irfan will be sharing with all the faculty or all the participants. I am just telling one of the third paragraph. If you see, they say that UNEP resolution that if we should, all member states of United Nations should be aware that if the current consumption pattern and waste management practices do not change, by 2015, there will be around 12 billion metric ton of plastic litter in landfill and environment. That's how, this is the, see, though we all, I hope that most of the faculty may be from plastic engineering. I am also from the plastic engineering background. So sometimes we get, feel offended that why, because plastic is wonderful material, plastic is very good. There are a lot of merits and all. But the problem is that if we don't manage this plastic waste, definitely the whole world will be talking against plastic. That's how it is happening. So this is again continuing with this resolution. This is, I have highlighted. They have given 5 important points. This UNEP says that they encourage member states to develop and implement national or regional action as appropriate to address the environmental impact of single-use plastic product. Also encourage member to take action as appropriate to promote the identification and development of environmental friendly alternative to single-use plastic. Then invite member state to promote improved waste management that will contribute to reducing the discharge of plastic waste into the environment. Also invite member state to work together with industry to encourage to private sector to innovate and find affordable and environmental friendly alternative to single use, and encourage government and private sector to promote the more resource efficient design, production, use and sound management of plastic across their life cycle. Now recently report also, sometimes people very easily they say that no, simply you either you reduce single use plastic, you don't use plastic, you use paper cup. But now in March 2021, another report has come by UN where they have clearly spelled out that while selecting alternative for single-use plastic, we should always talk about what is the life cycle analysis. Sometimes even the paper cup, that is also single-use. We cannot simply advocate that you throw plastic and you use paper cup. Again, we should go by the meta life cycle analysis, which is the whole world is talking. And there maybe on that parameter, even paper cup is also not useful as compared to plastic cup. So that's how now everybody is aware, everywhere this campaign is going on to control plastic waste. Somewhere they say that, okay, we have to reduce plastic, we have to replace plastic. But again, while replacing plastic also is not a simple solution. One has to go by the meta life cycle analysis. This is what the new United Nations report says, that while selecting and while going for replacement of a single use, we should be careful. Now, I think in our academia and our many times engineering colleges and everywhere, when we talk about 3R, 4R, the recycle, reuse. But when you go by United Nations has this. I have just taken as it is from their website. You see that what is the circular process. So they say the circularity, these are the different R. There are 9 R: reduce by design, refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, refurbish, remanufacture, repurpose, and recycle. So this is the key themes which is UNEP or United Nations Environment Program is talking about when they are talking about when they are trying to tackle the problem of plastic waste or plastic litter or microplastics. Now, this is another important fundamental, or you can say 4 building block, which United Nations is talking when they are talking about circular economy. So their circular economy, when they're talking about we have to cross-cutting. There are conditions, the cross-cutting enabling condition, including institution in terms of legal arrangement and policy, research and knowledge, stakeholder engagement and dialogue, which is very important, financing and capacity development. Because sometimes we in India also we are talking that we have to promote plastic waste recycling park. Plastic waste recycling has to be encouraged. Sometimes by following the guidelines of recycling, that other side industry say that when we are doing recycling and that when in India the waste are not, they are so much mixed with each other. So we have to proper washing, cleaning, and those guidelines if we have to follow by a small industry, so they need lot of kind of investment. So those things should be dealt in by policy maker also. So that's how now even Government of India also has created a working group, and they are talking about they are formulating a policy for plastic waste recycling in long-term basis, that how the plastic recycling. And now even I am going to share after some time that Indian scenario also. Now just I started with a global scenario, and then we'll come to Indian scenario also, what in India we are talking. This is, I'm just giving UN scenario, that UN what are the 4 building blocks which they are talking about when they are talking about circular economy. Then second, this is everywhere, this is common, they say eliminate all problematic and unnecessary plastic product. Then third is innovative design, production and business model to ensure that the plastic we do need are reusable, recyclable or compostable and free of toxic additive. Then circulate all plastic product at their highest value within the economy to keep them out of the environment. This is very important, that there should be a circulation. That's how we say circulation. It should not, any plastic after use, it should not end up in any environmental, either we simply throw on landfill or we simply throw, it should not go to river. So any environment, that is called, there should not be any leakage of plastic intentionally or unintentionally in the environment. Now, based on this all United Nations, this is the background. Why I have talked so much about this, all what is happening in the United Nations, so that all our faculty member or everybody should be aware also that why today, maybe since 2018, there is a lot of debate or discussion started on the issue of plastic waste management and single-use plastic. So the background dates back to same what I have shown earlier, that is our UN 2030 agenda, that is called Sustainable Development Goal, because this was signed in 2015. That's how in 2018, our Honorable Prime Minister also has signed this along with UNEP. In India also, that this phasing out of single-use plastic and thrust on plastic waste recycling was declared in India also in 2018, and that's how the Ministry of Environment and the CPCB, all they've started working on formulating different guidelines and policy. So now US, now this, because this topic, as you all are aware, that I have to talk about that what is the global scenario and what is the Indian scenario. So let me talk about that US scenario. So USA Plastic Pact 2020. So what is that US Plastic Pact 2020 says? They say that there are 4 elements in US Plastic Pact. They say that define a list of packaging that is problematic or unnecessary by 2021 and take measures to eliminate them by 2025. Then 100% of plastic packaging will be reusable, recyclable, or compostable by 2025. Then undertake ambitious action to effectively recycle or compost 50% of plastic packaging by 2025. And the 4th one is very important, that is called an average of 30% recycled content or responsibly sourced bio-based content by 2025. This is, I just want to talk about this because now when everybody, definitely they are aware that when we are talking about plastic, we are talking more about thermoplastic. Now this is global, you can say push or pressure everywhere is there that now more and more recycled plastic should be used in packaging material or packaging product. And when we talk about, I think you would have sometime when you are following up some that PET bottle recycler or PET people, you will be finding that sometimes they write that this is a recycled PET. Sometimes they say that this is all, we are using so much of recycled PET in this particular container content. Or sometimes when they are packaging film is there, they write that this is used by, there is this much percentage of recycled material is used. And these targets are decided in European Union, in Europe, Australia, and North America. Now they are deciding target because that is one of the goals, that recycle, the use of recycled material in the main product. So that's how this is going to be a next, you can say next 10 year or 30 year, we are going, that 10 year or 20 year, we are going to see that surge of different kind of recycling people, registration of recycling, everything is going to be, because now recycling should come in a big way in coming decade, or you can say coming decade or 2 decades, because the whole globe started talking about plastic waste recycling. Now this is like I was telling about that US also, because there are so many other information, but I thought that this is the key element in US. Again, I have another information that recently that California, like in India also, we have got different states. Sometimes Ministry of Environment, they give guideline based on the Government of India guideline they issue or notification. Based on that, following that guideline, again that each different states also they formulate. So likewise, this is what I was showing. This is a USA Pact 2020. Now, just I think in July 2021, California State in US, they also decided on the same kind of, they also drafted they say that California recycling plastic rule or management, that California plastic pollution and recycling, some kind of that, I don't remember exact title. Under that rule also, they are talking similar thing, that California state, and it is going to be voted by public also. There they say that now first that California state governor has issued, they have notified it, and now it is being, it will go for, like in India also sometimes the draft notification when they come, it is being offered for a public comments. The government say that, okay, 90 days or 6 month time, they give any kind of policy document, draft document, that one can comment on that. So likewise, that recently that California is a important state of US. They have also come out and they are talking about target for use of same thing, that 25% recycled content should be there in any plastic product. Just to imagine that somebody say that, okay, they have to give a logo. This is called eco logo or eco labeling, that my product contains 25% of recycled material. So that is going to be a mandatory kind of guidelines, which we are expecting across the globe going to be followed by different plastic product manufacturers. Now, since all of you that I'm going to talk about that also, how to identify, let me now come to this is that was about US. Now comes to European Union. Now European Union, they have formed an alliance. This is Circular Plastic Alliance, which is an initiative under the European Strategy for Plastic of 2018. This was launched in December 2018 to help plastic value chain boost the EU market for recycled plastic to 10 million tons by 2025. That means they say that around 10 million tons of recycled plastic has to be used in the plastic value chain, so that more and more, because that is by European Commission guideline, if they say no, you have to use 25% recycle, so definitely the demand of recycled plastic will increase. That's how the waste will be more and more recycled in a proper way, and it will come back to come back again in a circular manner. And there are organizations. Again, one thing is there that many organizations in Europe, they are signing commitments. There's a global commitment. They're either regional basis, globally also a lot of packaging companies, they have committed that they say that plastic commitment for use of recycled material. So the Circular Plastic Alliance was signed by around 200 organizations, including company, business organization, academia, standardization body, public authority, which are committed to work together. They have got an action plan also that how they are going to achieve. Definitely one thing, let me tell you that all this, as I was talking about in the beginning, that is all started from 2015 and 2018, 19, this UNEP resolution was there. Definitely after this, for last one and a half year, due to this COVID pandemic or the COVID scenario, many of this activity were slowed down. But again, once this pandemic scare is going to be over, again now the whole globe is again becoming together, and they are thinking to work in this direction of circular economy or more and more recycling of plastic waste. Now, this is very important. Those who are in the some of your faculty maybe also engage in standardization activity. So the plastic related matter is deliberated at ISO TC 61 in international level. Like in India, we have got Bureau of Indian Standard, and there is a plastic committee, which is PCT 12. And under that only this all discussion takes place related to recycling or guidelines. So likewise in international level, ISO level, they in 2000, what I remember, either 2017 or 2018, that based on this UN resolution on SDG 30, the SDG 17 goal, that ISO Technical Committee 61, which deals with plastic, also decided to create one subcommittee on environmental aspect. That subcommittee number is SC14. Why I'm informing all of you that sometimes if you want to follow that what are the standardization activities taking place, or see one thing again, I must inform everyone. When we talk about particularly here, you see that the focus that first let me read the scope of the subcommittee. What is the scope of the subcommittee? That all standardization activity in the field of plastic relating to environmental and sustainability aspect. And the focus is on, but not limited to, bio-based plastics, biodegradability, environmental footprint, including carbon footprint, resource efficiency, including circular economy, characterization of plastic leaked into the environment, including microplastic, waste management, including organic, mechanical, and chemical recycling. So this, you can see that how elaborate the scope of this subcommittee is there. And along with some of the CPET member, I was also part of this subcommittee when it was being formed and when the scope was decided. So you'll not believe that even like we in academia, sometime when we write something or we send for comment, if some people they give some comment or negative and all, we simply get offended. But you will not believe in ISO standardization that people from different country and all, for each and every word, each and every sentence, they want to means give interpretation. They want to go for in-depth analysis that what is going to be the scope, what is going to be the implication of that kind of scope. So this scope, when you see, you'll find that in India, we would have heard only about mechanical recycling, mostly in India. But they say that, okay, there is organic recycling also, chemical recycling. Then what is the organic recycling? In India, why this I want to stress upon something on this slide, because when we, any policy maker or anyone or in a general way, when you talk to somebody who is aware about that, okay, there is campaign going on against plastic, simply they will say that, okay, just replace plastic by bio-based plastic, or they simply say that, okay, biodegradability is the answer. But many of you also must be aware, and let me also tell that on all these terms, now terminology is being defined properly. Even what is single-use plastic, that also ISO is going to define that term, and very soon, maybe in next 6 months, now it is going for international ballot, that different terms. So why I am telling this, because that as a faculty also, this is my feeling that whatever your students are there, we should teach them in a proper way. Sometime because I have got an opportunity to interview some of the BTech candidates also for a campus placement or somewhere in my company. So whenever I talk about that, what is bio-based, simply they start telling bio-based means it will biodegrade, which is not true. Bio-based means, maybe as a faculty, many of you may be aware that what is the root of that. Bio-based, bio-based plastic does not mean that bio-based plastic will be recyclable. Likewise, biodegradability cannot be used by a simple terminology that this plastic is biodegradable. Again, there are testing protocol standard and how to label any kind of product or how to classify any kind of product as a biodegradable. So these are some of the things, or these are some of the, you can say that this is not only in India, the whole globe this problem was there. That's how this this subcommittee was constituted. This is a very recent subcommittee where that members are from CPET also. CPET, a lot of people are contributing in this environmental subcommittee. They are members. Then there are, this subcommittee also has got working. I'm going to tell here only why I was talking about that this bio-based, biodegradable or recycling, whether what kind of recycling it should be. Whenever we teach to our student or whenever we are speaking on some kind of platform, we should be careful in because in for a normal public or normal any policy maker, sometimes a lot of confusion is there that what is this plastic is bad because it is not biodegradable or it is not bio-based. So there are so many. So because of all these reasons, very soon you are going to find a kind of a vocabulary or of all this technical term, which ISO technical committee is going to finalize. It is being debated now. Next meeting is September. One committee draft has been already drafted on all these terms related to even plastic waste and post-consumer waste, pre-consumer waste, processing waste. So how to classify that this is a consumer waste, post-consumer, pre-consumer. So that all those terms will come under this new ISO standard. And this ISO group has got, that's how what I was talking about, WG1, which is terminology, classification and general guidance. Here, when you see that, you'll find all those. Sometimes the student they ask, or sometimes even some people will simply ask, what is single-use plastic? What is EPR? Now people are talking about extended producer responsibility when they are talking about plastic waste management. So that has been nicely being defined, going to be defined. Now there is a draft only. I should not say that it has been finalized. There will be debate is going to take place. International ballot would be there. And then afterwards, those terminology will be defined. Then WG2 is a working group for biodegradability, and WG3 is for bio-based plastic. Here you see there are two different working group on biodegradability and bio-based. Then WG4 is for microplastic, and WG5 is for mechanical and chemical recycling. And you know that mechanical recycling is quite popular in India. And in India, when we talk, mostly we talk about this mechanical route of recycling only. These are 5 working groups under that ISO subcommittee of SC14. This was an India's proposal, and because in India we do a lot of mechanical recycling. Mechanical recycling means I'm going to show some of the pictures also, though those pictures are of a very, you can say that is of the biggest recycling cluster which is operating in Gujarat. But that recycling cluster is definitely not doing, many of the things are not in line with the proper guideline or proper scientific way. But when we are talking about that we have to use more and more recycled content in main plastic product or packaging, so one should know that there should be a some criteria for testing and characterization. Because when you do a plastic waste recycling, somebody will say that you use a waste recycled material mechanically. So how to do a testing? When you are buying a plastic raw material, a virgin raw material or a prime grade raw material, you can get a technical data sheet very easily. There everything is mentioned, that what is MFI, what is tensile strength. But unfortunately for recycled material, one side the globe everybody is talking that use more and more recycled material. But tomorrow, suppose as a processor, if I want to use some recycled P or recycled PP in my product, so how to check that? How to test that? So that's how this proposal, and incidentally, I am the project leader for this particular new ISO standard. And now for last 6 months, you will not believe that 6 months I have been preparing draft, and we have been submitting, and 2 rounds, lot of international comments were there. They wanted to amend that, many technical debate, technical discussion, editorial mistake they pointed out, each and everything, where we should use may, where we should use can. So why I'm informing that any kind of standardization method at ISO level is quite tricky, quite complex. It cannot be, so that's how it takes time also. It is not like that you have just put some draft and immediately it get, maybe after 1 or 2 waiting, it gets clear. It is not like that. So there is a procedure, almost 24 months to 36 months it will take. So now already 7-8 months. So we say first stage, I have submitted a working draft, which was debated by international expert. And the title of this standard, which is, if suppose it get finalized, still I am not sure. Now it is a long way to go. Now it is under committee draft. CD means committee draft stage. First stage was cleared. First stage called working draft. So that was testing and characterization of mechanically recycled PP and polyethylene for intended use in different plastic processing techniques. This was India's proposal, because there it is not an individual proposal, because from Indian group, along with CPET expert and some of the industry expert, and we have proposed this standard. It should be there under ISO, so that tomorrow if this standard is get published or finalized, so any recycler, if any plastic waste recycler is there, he will be able to check this. If the standard, whatever the provision is there, he will be able to test and characterize that recycled material and give a certificate. If this is the test, and this is the test result of waste recycle, because the quality of recycled material also will be very important. We cannot simply say that, okay, you just add 30% recycled content or 25% recycled content. If the quality of recycled material is not good, then you are not able to get the desired result, and then the whole the theme and whole whatever that campaign is there to use more and more recycle is going to be failed. So this is also very important, that there should be a proper guidelines, proper methodology, systematic way to do a plastic waste recycling by a mechanical route. So this is particularly for a mechanical, because mechanical route means a normal extruder. I think I am not stressing upon that, because considering that most of you are from faculty, you are not you all are from faculty side, so you know that we basically a mechanically recycled machine is nothing but an extruder only, and that extruder is we connect either a water strand, underwater strand pelletizer would be there to melt the plastic waste and get that in the form of a pellet or granule, or there will be a die phase cutter. I'm sure that most of our faculty member, because there's a faculty development program, so at least they are aware clearly about this mechanical recycling. So this standard is only to whatever the output of recycling plant is there, mechanically recycling plant. And PP and P, why PP and P only I have taken here? Because PP and P, you would see that almost you can say 60% of packaging material may be based on either polyethylene or polypropylene. That's how this P and PP only has been taken for testing and characterizing, for particularly for this standard. Now, when you talk about priority for plastic waste management, this is, I think, many of you would be aware. Here only I was telling that there are 4 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, recovery, and landfill should be the least favored option. When we talk about plastic waste management, this should be the priority. Either first priority is that you reduce the amount of plastic you use so that you reduce the plastic waste produced, then reuse the material, recycle. Now, whatever global thing was to be talked, I think I have almost talked at length about whatever is happening in global level. I started from just I am summarizing. First, I talked about UNEP thing, that United Nations Environmental Program, that SDG goal, because all this plastic waste and all being discussed within the SDG goal 12, SDG 12, where we talk about responsible, sustainable, responsible consumption and sustainable production, responsible consumption, sustainable production. So that is our SDG 12. And now afterwards, I talked about ISO, what is happening related to plastic waste recycling standardization. Now we'll come to India's, this is again, this particular slide I have taken from ministry report only. When we compare with global scenario of plastic waste recycling, one should be happy also that India, we are doing 60% of our products are recycled. So that if you talk about percentage wise, our recycling percentage is quite high compared to global average of 21%. When we talk about, you would have seen in my earlier slide, when I was talking about global scenario based on United Nations UNEP report. So there globally, when we talk, average is very less, 21% only plastic get recycled. But when you talk about this India scenario, we say that around 60% recycling is being done. Only thing is that many of the recyclers are not registered. We say 70% is recycled and registered facility there, because for registration of recycling facility also there is a guideline under Ministry of Environment and Ministry of CPCB. And 20% recycled by organized sector, and 10% of plastic is recycled at home, you can say. That the 60, and when you talk about what is the plastic waste generated every day, there's a 15,342 tons every day. And top 5 plastic waste producing state in India. So you would see that here the state name is given, which are the top 5 waste producing, in which you will find that UP is there, Tamil Nadu is there, Gujarat is there, Maharashtra is there, Karnataka is there. So here you will find that Maharashtra, again, because Maharashtra, the waste generation is more. And because of all this plastic waste generation and what we say that indiscriminate waste management, the time to time Government of India is working on this, particularly Ministry of Environment and Forest. And many of you would be aware that the plastic waste management guidelines of 2016, first 2016, the rule has come, which was amended in 2018. Now, on August 12th, this is very recent. Now, whatever you are seeing the slide, this is very recent amendment which government has done on 12th August 2021. just before 15th August. I have now just taken few points to what was the amendment, because the basic rule is same, that basic plastic waste management rule of India is of 2016 only. Now, what is the important thing here? Earlier, many of you would be aware, time to time, those who are very senior faculty, or if they are in this field for more than 20 years, you will be knowing that earlier we used to talk about that any plastic film which is having a more than 20 micron thickness is banned. Afterwards, again, rule came that any plastic film which is having 50 micron should be banned. Now, recent rule which government has amended, there are some kind of, because here this full slide I have not taken, only few slides are there only to specify about single-use plastic and what is the plastic waste processing mean as per India's guideline, because that we should know that what is the India rules they say. So now current guidelines of amended guidelines say that the film thickness can be from September onwards, it could be 75 micron, and from January 2022, it would be around 120 micron. So that means there is a significant increase of thickness of the film, because the most visible the littered item in waste stream in India used to be a carry bag, plastic carry bag or packaging bag, whatever is thrown out of use. So the thickness is increased, and it is expected that if thickness is increased, definitely the higher thickness carry bag or higher thickness film would be costing. And sometime when cost is there, because when we are now in the scenario that when you go to any market, any place, we feel that it is our right to ask for him a carry bag or any kind of a grocery bag free of cost. But when thickness increases, definitely that any kind of retailer, shopkeeper, or any nobody will give free of cost. Definitely they will charge. That's how it is happening in developed country in Europe and North America and all. That there, that carry bag, if you want to take carry bag, you have to pay some money. So same way in India, if suppose the free way carry bag will not be given if thickness is more, because the thicker film or thicker film based carry bag will have cost. So now here I am talking about non-woven bag. Sometime in India, this is why I am showing this slide, because whenever we talk about plastic ban or carry bag ban in India, the people start selling this non-woven bag, which looks like cloth bag, and people say no, this is a cloth bag, it is made out of cloth, whereas the reality is that the non-woven plastic bag is also made out of polypropylene material, which is again plastic. So here also they have defined that what is non-woven bag plastic means. This non-woven plastic bag made of plastic sheet or wave structure fabric or integral plastic fiber. And this particular also, there is a that part is not there. Non-woven bag, earlier in old scheme it was not allowed, but now they say there should be a GSM, 60 GSM. That this non-woven bag, sometimes it is very thin. It looks like it will easily tear off. So, but non-woven plastic bag also, government has allowed that more than 60 GSM non-woven bag can be used. And here they have defined what is plastic waste processing. Plastic waste processing means any process by which plastic waste is handled for the purpose of reuse, recycling, co-processing, or transformation into new product. This is our new India's guideline. When you talk about plastic waste processing, what is the meaning of that? And they have defined single-use plastic commodity also, and they have given a list also. Any faculty member can go to the MOEF website, you will get the whole guideline. Only important thing I have shown here, just to show that the plastic waste management guideline, recent amendment, what they have done. So some amendment I have already informed. One is the thickness increase, and some of the listing they have done in line with UN declaration or UN guidelines also, that they have decided some of the single-use plastic, which is going to be banned slowly from September onwards, from January onwards. So that they have mentioned, and they have mentioned that single-use plastic commodity means a plastic item intended to be used once for the same purpose before being disposed of or recycled. This is the India's waste management guidelines definition for single use. And what is the basic guideline? This is very important. that the basic rule, one I always used to stress upon this particular point, that if you go through our BIS guideline, which is IS 14534 2016, which is written very nicely. There is a very, you can say that it has taken from a ISO standard only. 15270 is a ISO standard for the recycling recovery of plastic. But unfortunately, the problem is that in Indian recycler, nobody is following the guidelines, which is guideline points, which are mentioned in IS 14534 2016. So that is why when we talk about registration of recycling, when the Central Pollution Control Board or whatever guideline, they say that you have to register recycling. There is a, anyone, if you have got more interest, you can go to the CPCB or MOEF portal. So a detailed guideline has been given that how that a recycling unit can register themselves, and they can classify themselves as a registered recycler of CPCB or MOEF. So there the condition is that they have to follow IS 14534. Even this 14534 guideline also is under review, because every BI standard has to be reviewed every 5 years. So now this is 2021. So BIS has again constituted a panel to review this standard, and that panel is being represented by industry people, and I am also one of the I am the convener for this panel, which is looking into the review of this standard. And then they say that urban local bodies shall encourage the use of plastic waste by adopting suitable technology, such as in road construction, for energy recovery in compliance with the standard and pollution control norms specified by the prescribed authority in this regard. This is the basic rule of India's, and this is very important. Now, now this new rule of new, you can say, new policy of Ministry of Environment and Central Pollution Control Board is targeted towards the responsibility of producer, importer, and brand owners. You would be hearing sometimes that now government is telling that extended producer responsibility. In short, we say EPR. That means any brand owner, take for example, I would give a very simple example, either a milk pouch. You just start with a milk pouch. Milk pouch is of Amul. Or if milk pouch is thrown and the branding is of Amul. So this is a responsibility of Amul as a brand owner, that their carry bag or pouch should not be littered, or should not be. Though in fact, milk pouches you will never be able to see also, because there is a proper recycling of milk pouches. There are a lot of collection agency also, and milk pouches you will not see. This is just for example I am telling, that brand owner responsibility. Take for example cement bag. Take for example, today you are going to buy any kind of food item. Take for example a basmati rice, which is packed in a very nice plastic film, which are printing. So whatever brand is there, so that brand owner responsibility is there, that after use of that particular packaging, that packaging should not be littered out. It should not be leaked into the environment. It should be, because that's how they have made a rule. That also they say the brand owner has to register with a registered recycler. So they should ensure that whatever their packaging or any kind of product which is used only single use, or which is which has got chances to be littered out, that kind of product has to be collected, and it should be recycled through the registered recycler of Central Pollution Control Board. And now here you see one highlighted one from the plastic waste management rule. They say the producer within a period of 6 months from the date of publication, that means in 2018 when this rule was amended, that they should work out modality for waste collection system based on extended producer responsibility. This is called producer responsibility, and involving state urban development either individually or collectively through their own distribution channel or through the local body concerned. And some people, some brand owner can even further, because this I have only taken a few points. The scheme like deposit refund scheme. Take for example, if you are returning a package to a shop or to a place, they will refund something. Like it is very popular, particularly in PET bottle. PET bottle you have heard everywhere in global, there many packaging law in Europe, in Japan and many other country is there that when you return that, there will be like a ATM type machine would be there. You just give back that bottle and you will get some money back. So that is called deposit, the refund scheme or whatever. So that kind of, this is the responsibility of the brand owner or importer who is importing that kind of. So this two things, recycling and thrust on registration of recycling recyclers. And second thing is that enforcement of EPR are going to be the main activity which you are going to see in coming days. Means once this government start implementing strictly this rule of plastic waste management rule 2018 and whatever is being amended recently in August 2021. I think this you would be aware. These are all given in the guideline. One thing is there in Indian context, sometimes segregation becomes very difficult. Segregation means our plastic waste, everything is littered out and everything is mixed together. Because of that, segregation becomes difficult. So then ISO guidelines, it says that there should be a, this is not this our even BIS guideline, it has been given, but long back in 90s, Society of Plastic Industry and Society of Plastic Engineers, they have decided this codification. It's called codification. Sometimes about this also, many people have got different kind of means a different kind of interpretation. Once I know somebody asked that if it is written 5, that means this material can be written 5 times, which is wrong. This is just to identify a particular plastic. And in India, whatever plastic products are produced, at least this triangle, suppose 1 is there, so 1 indicates PET material, 2 indicates SDP material, 3 indicate polyvinyl chloride material, 4 indicate low density polyethylene, 5 indicates polypropylene, 6 indicates polystyrene, and 7 for other reason. So this is basically nothing but this is just so that even if a rag picker is there or whomsoever is doing sorting of the waste, if they are doing manually, if in any product or package this kind of labeling is done properly or it is printed on the material, so it is very easy that you can segregate the plastic waste before recycling. Indian context, mostly we do mechanical. Sometimes we say mechanical. These are the options for plastic waste recycling. Mechanical, chemical, incineration is the, you can say the last option when nothing is like in India, a lot of biomedical or the medical use plastic, there is a guideline of CPCP that if it is not, so it goes for a incineration under controlled condition. There are CPCP guideline is there for the incineration. Chemical recycling is not popular. Chemical recycling means again go back to the monomer route, any polymer, because all plastics are polymer. If you go back to the original route, you depolymerize it, get monomer. Again, you go for a repolymerization. So that's called chemical route. Mechanical is a normal physical route, which is quite popular. And in India, mostly we are doing a mechanical route. But for mechanical route, very important is collection and availability of waste. Because if you are having a recycling, a very big plant, but if you are not able to collect plastic waste properly, if you are not able to have a segregation proper, and again, same thing what I was just mentioning before, that guidelines of recycling, BIS, IS 14534, it has to be followed, which unfortunately in India, many companies, they are not following. Though in India, either you say informal way or there are a lot of clusters are there. This is again from a ICP report, which was published long back, where these are the recycling center, waste generation, different places. This is this one of the plastic recycling, which has become quite developed and being done quite nicely in India. And again, I would quote a company called Reliance. Reliance is doing a lot of Reliance polyester division. They are doing PET, and now there was a recent report also in news that they are going to double the capacity of doing of PET recycling. So when you talk about PET bottle, PET bottle, now two debates are going on in India. One is to allow the post-consumer PET bottle for, again, for water, for uses in water, means water bottle. But that till date, our Indian guidelines, they don't allow for food application or water application. So that is the reason the most of the used PET bottle, they go for another application. PET is again PET is basically a polyester family material, polyester family of polyester only. So PET bottles are basically, they go back to the stage of you see in this flow has been given that it goes, the first is PET flake is produced, and the flake is basically, it is by spinning and drawing we make fiber, staple fiber. I would like to just inform about one kind of product. When you go and you buy a pillow, so pillow, Reliance one Reclon grade comes, Reclon brand comes. You find that inside that what is there? That basically it is a polyester staple fiber. So that fiber, either that fiber can be used or fiber can be again converted into filament. Filament can be woven, and again we can produce basically a textile product. Like sometimes you would see that some sportsmen and all wearing a T-shirt, and where the T-shirt, somewhere it would be written that this T-shirt is produced from this many number of bottle. So basically, PET bottle can be converted into polyester fiber, either staple fiber, or it can be converted into any kind of clothing, like by doing filament, by converting into yarn, and yarn has again, yarn can be woven, and again you can go back to. One thing is, one application which Europe and other countries, they are allowing, that is say bottle to bottle. That means that their recycling technology, again what happened, their technology approval is given. I remember in Europe, they have given a technology approval to one recycling company. It's called Irema. Irema is a famous recycling company. They have produced, they have given a, they have, because their technology expert, they have gone there, they have verified, and they say that, okay, there is a PET recycling, whatever is done based on Irema technology, that is fit for bottle to bottle application also. That means any kind of food contact application or water application, the recycled PET can be used. But in India, we are not permitting, by guidelines, by BIS guidelines or even waste management guidelines, they never permit that recycled PET can be used for food application. Now on that, debate is going on, because in India, we cannot, because Indian condition is different. India, normally we don't give any machinery or technology approval. We say the process approval, and sometimes people have apprehensive in Indian condition that India, the proper sorting, cleaning, washing will not be done, and it should not happen that there is a contamination. So that lot of apprehension used to be there in Indian condition. So that is why bottle to bottle is not allowed, but bottle to fiber. So it is called the PET bottle, and PET is the, you can say, the PET bottle recycling is done in India in a quite, you can say, developed manner and proper manner. And good companies are there across India. Gujarat companies are there. In Kanpur, there is a company. In South India also companies are there. They are doing this PET bottle recycling in a proper manner. Now, now comes to, now next slide is related to, this is also much talked about, plastic waste in road construction. This is also a very important, you would say that, I would say that now Government of India also, the Ministry of Highways, and they have, I think I remember that October 2020 or before that, some they have notified that plastic waste which cannot be recycled, it can be used for road construction application. Means it can go into the road area. So there also, there are some guidelines. Central Road Research Institute based in Delhi, they have even they have issued some process flow SOPs also there. There is one Indian Road Congress specification is also there. Here also we have to do a cleaning and drying of waste. Then the plastic waste is there is a size. We have to shred it into a particular size. What I remember, some 2.6 something micron or 2.6 mm, the size should be there. And then only this is CRRI. CRRI has done, and even one professor from Madurai, Professor Vasudevan, he has done a lot of work. Even long back he has done. Now in India, a lot of people are doing also in this, and governmental institutes wise, CRRI is working on this, and CRRI has done some good road. They have helped Himachal Pradesh and this Uttarakhand area. I assume that somewhere they have made road also based on this. This is a process flow. It is nothing but this concept is taken from polymer modified bitumen, because whenever the polymer modified bitumen, if it can be used, so similar way, our plastic waste is a part of polymer. So if that can also improve that, and sometimes the road durability, strength, and everything which is being tested by IRC specification for road, BIS is not used. For that, IRC is there, which is called Indian Road Congress specification. And it has been tested and tried. That is the reason that this is the guidelines which I think it was in 2015 that government has issued that notification that plastic means plastic waste can go into the road construction. The plastic waste can be used for the road construction. Now this is, as I told, some pictures I'm going to show, which those pictures would be really, sometimes some people, they say that though these pictures are the real picture, they are the ground pictures. And as I was mentioning earlier, now in India, though we are doing 60% of recycling, but somehow our recycling is not in a very proper scientific, or you can say that the proper guidelines. We are not following the proper guideline, though we are able to, and that is why sometimes these recyclers get a bad name. So this is one, you can say, very old cluster of Dhoraji from Gujarat. These pictures have been taken. This cluster is still working. And in 2008, CPET has conducted one study of different plastic waste cluster. So that report was given to ministry. Again, now Department of Chemical, Petrochemical, they have constituted a working group, and they are trying to formulate a policy. So here some of the points, key points were there. Before going to showing those pictures, I want to inform to all of you that what are the key problem in India's plastic waste management. First problem is that our demographic, you can say, variation, state to state, place to place, and this all plastic waste collection is not organized. So I remember that one stakeholder used to say that if we are to improve plastic waste recycling infrastructure in India, then we have to work on a like this is a model which is practiced in Canada and all. That whole plastic waste, there should be either plastic waste corporation in a central level or state level. Their only job is to collect plastic waste. They should have a fleet of vehicle. They go there and they collect plastic waste and they bring it to a recycler. Now, what is happening? Now it is all in, you can say, unorganized sector or informal sector. Somewhere, definitely, some of the cities are doing very well. In my, I think, earlier program, if some faculty would have again attended, sometime I was asking also Dr. Irfan whether it is the same program which I conducted last year. So if faculty is same, though they will find it repeated. But that time I was informing about a ideal example of Indore. Indore, they created a material recovery facility, all kind of solid waste management, whether it is, so it sometimes a proper waste management of plastic, it also depends upon the local municipal corporation, local municipalities, and how the other players are working. Though now government is also telling you create a plastic waste collection agency. Just 1 month back, I was participating in a Delhi government environment seminar. So there I found one agency is there. They are doing very good Eco Pro, some name is there. They are collecting waste from different area and segregating it and doing recycling in a very nice manner. So though in India, the clusters were there, the problem when I am going to show this picture, you would be some pictures, maybe you would be feeling bad also by seeing those pictures. And that is the problem in Indian context, that sometimes their waste management, their recycling plant is not having a proper heat control, temperature control. Because of that, their high heat process is done. Sometimes they are not able to wash properly, clean properly their waste. So they do their factories are in a very unhygienic condition. They are using child labor. So these are the problems which Indian plastic waste management clusters are facing. And these are being brought into light by different stakeholder, recyclers also, and different agency. And now we are hopeful because now whole globe is now giving a thrust on use of recycled content. Another thing is that since you all are from academia, even I would request at the end of my session, somebody can ask question. Even I want to ask one question because now it is being debated globally that this politically, or you can say that government policy maker, they are forcing that, okay, you use 25% plastic recycled content in this particular product. But how to verify that? Because whatever based on my experience in plastic processing, once plastic is produced, because it is already, it is converted by injection molding or blow molding and extrusion. If it is converted into some product, afterwards we cannot do a content analysis that whether recycling content is there or not in this particular product. So for that reason, now in recently in ISO, there is a, they say that another term, there's a chain of custody or mass balance. The mass balance theory is being now talked about because though in India, why I'm trying to alert all of you also, and if someone has got a very unique way of characterization, so he can also say, he or she can inform that they can identify it. But to the best of my knowledge, the politically or policy maker may say that now time has come that to use more and more recycle material in a product. But after product is formed, then it is not possible. That is the reason that in European Union, they started an audit scheme. Even if some CPET faculty members are there, I am going to urge them that they should also go through that. Now in the trend in Europe and all is there to certify. They are trying to certify, like in ISO auditing takes place to certify some production or manufacturing that this is a ISO certified. So likewise for certifying that this guy or this industry is using 25% of recycled content, they are going to the shop floor, they are assessing what is their input material, is called input output, mass balance or chain of custody. So that is the only way by which we can certify any plastic processing unit or plastic producer, they recycle content. Why I have told to all of you, I don't know from which institution you all may be, because now recently someone from some polymer, I should not say name, but from a reputed polymer technology institution in India, they told me, you know, they can characterize and they can identify that presence of recycled content, which I don't think that after processing is over, it is very difficult. But again, I will leave this question open to all of faculty, those who are from plastic polymer, and if someone has got any unique idea, you can definitely share to us or to CPET, because ultimately whatever policy is going to be made in India also, as I am telling that now in IS 14534 guidelines, we are debating this particular point, because in this earlier guideline, it was written that, okay, 20% waste recycled material has to be used, but how it can be used and how to be tested, that is a question. This question to even CPET faculty also, and even many polymer technologies, that what is the way to characterize or identify the recycled content. So this is just a brief, and then I am going to show some pictures also about this Doraji. But this is clusters are working in India. They are doing as far as waste management is concerned, they are doing waste management. They are at least clearing off a lot of plastic waste. Only thing is that their methodology and mode of operation can be commented by any plastic technologist or plastic processing expert. They may say that no, their machine is not good, their machine temperature control is not there. So let me start some pictures. These are now going to be some pictures only. This is from Gujarat, Dhoraji, near Rajkot. There's a very old cluster of recycling. You see all kind of industrial waste which comes to them from all across India. There are mixed waste. These are, you see, they are all packaging, shampoo, packet, labels, everything. These are crates, bottle waste, all kind of SDP based also, and then these are there in a very small area. They have got a recycling plant. There's a very small recycling where that energy controller kind of temperature control is there. There's no proper temperature controller, PID, very locally made machines. The washing cleaning is not proper. Definitely these kind of granules can be used in injection molding. And I spent almost 1.5 years in Ahmedabad. So I am aware in Gujarat, a lot of these kind of waste, they go into injection molding. And is not proper, maybe it may have full of dust and dirt. So maybe injection molding, this kind of material will be, you can use. But when you talk about any kind of extrusion based process, take for example, film extrusion or any kind of cast film extrusion, or our machine like we are using in our Lohia's tape plant. So if any dust, dirt or contaminant is there in these granules, so you cannot use it. The film will puncture immediately if any dust and dirt is there. So this particular waste material may be good for many of injection molding application when you are not doing washing, cleaning properly, and if dust, dirt is there, and then this come to a very nice display when you go to their recycling manufacturer office. They will show you these kind of, these are different color, different granules are available, and you can take it and you can produce in different kind of injection molded product. And this is their dump site. When sometime what happened, this is one problem because we are not doing segregation of this waste properly. So sometimes this all, when we are not doing segregated, everything mixed together. So after manual segregation, you see there this is the site. So whatever can be segregated properly and all, sometimes this all, because it is mixed with, sometimes it is all, you can say biological waste is also there with this. So when they are finding it, when anybody who is organizing this, when they find that this waste is not good, so they simply start burning it. This was one issue. I remember in 2000, maybe 8 or 9, some local residents started complaining against this recycler, the plastic waste recycler, that they are not doing proper way and all, because they were burning whatever they can recycle, whatever the maximum they can do recycling, they can segregate it, they were doing it. But whatever not possible, they were again trying to burn it. So burning was definitely an issue, and that should be avoided. And that is why we always used to say that in any forum, any governmental meeting, we advise that the waste segregation at source, a proper waste collection, and a proper, after waste is being, before waste is mechanically recycled, proper washing, cleaning guidelines, which is in line with our BIS specification, is very important if we want to maintain a good quality of recycled material, or if we want to promote the circular economy in real sense in India. When we say that, okay, we have to use, reuse, so recycle material in components. So if the quality of recycle is not good, then people will not be able to use, at least in many of extrusion application. Injection molding application, we always say that it is being used. You remember that when sometime many of you would see that in on a cart, some roadside cart, somebody will be selling all plastic item, plastic tub, bucket at a very cheaper price. So what is those plastic tub and bucket, which is not branded, which is not from a, they are all out of a recycled material. And I have found in Gujarat during my stay in 2009-10, there's a very, you can say, organized way recycled material go into this all kind of product, which is a commodity product in injection molding. These are some pictures just to show you that, and see, this is this particular one thing what I found they are doing good also, but maybe again, which when we talk about the standard or specification, that sometimes this mixed waste and all they produce, they say in Hindi it is called gatta, that black color, and this all this they afterward this they break it into pellet, and then this all this go into a pipe manufacturing. They make a black kind of pipe. So, and this is not BIS specified pipe, but okay, the recycled material is used in a certain application, and this is being used in that all village, this farmer and agriculture feed as a replacement of normal SDP pipe. So this is a particular use which I can say, okay, this they were maybe doing in a not in a very visibly it may look bad, but they are doing a good job converting it, and these are cheaper product, cheaper pipe, which is purchased by farmers across that area and all. This is happening not only in Rajkot, even happening in Malegaon, some Maharashtra area also I've seen that recyclers, they do this. This black pipe, which is all 100% recycled. Then this is, now this is about what I was talking about, mechanical recycling. So this cluster in India, lot of cluster in Delhi also. If you talk about NCR, Delhi area, so Mangalpur area, and Bhavna, and what is called, I think definitely someone else also, if the speaker would have come from industry, actually particularly from Delhi, they would have highlighted these things. And then Malegaon, I told, then Bombay, these are all recycling cluster which are working. Now there is a need by government intervention so that this recycler can be promoted either by way of sometimes they talk about power relief because electricity consumption, so some rebate in their electricity, or sometimes they ask that recycling product should have. These are all some I would say they are called commercial terms, which sometimes this all recycler people, because the one representation always the recycling unit they give to the government agencies, that their margin is very less because they are working in a very less margin. So they need to be promoted. If they have to be promoted, so they should get some tax relief, some concession on power tariff and all. So that is okay. That is government has to decide. But technology wise, we as a technology, we can definitely say that their technology need to be upgraded. They are doing in a machine. They are doing a local make machine. Their temperature control need to be improved by providing them a proper temperature control, or you can say temperature proper machines, what they are using that can be. So we have even proposed also in one of the meeting that technology upgradation fund for recyclers should be that kind of scheme should be brought into by government agencies. Now come to, this is also for so many years that we talk about. There's another way. If suppose plastic waste, like in Indian country, particularly in polyethylene and polypropylene, we can go for plastic waste to fuel also. So plastic waste to fuel plant, there are bigger plant also, smaller plant also, but bigger plant, what I understand in India, again, they started few plant, but they could not get viability, because one of the plant, which I personally remember of from Tamil Nadu in Chennai, they were having 6 ton requirement every day. But 6 ton waste, as such, people talk that there are so much waste is available. But when you go really into, you want to make plastic waste a real business proposition, so then you find that you are not able to organize plastic waste also, and you are not able to organize plastic waste. And if you have to collect plastic waste from a far off places, and you have to give a transportation cost, then the whole business, whatever the business scheme comes out of the plastic waste, when sometimes people say waste is wealth. So that all get failed when you are not able to get plastic waste. So there is a, whenever we talk about plastic waste recycling as a business proposition, So we need to ensure that how we can get properly all kind of plastic waste. There should be a consistency in getting this plastic waste from different sources. If we are not able to get, then it is very difficult. This is one plant picture. This is the same waste to fuel picture. You see that many of this, sometime what happened, maybe 10 years before we started in a very, even we were propagating that sometime in Indian scenario, if any mixed waste, here you see that waste is all mixed and it is going to a very highly advanced plant, which is waste to fuel plant. So, but what happens if it is, you are giving in this plastic waste to fuel, if some paper waste is also there, some other kind of waste is also mixed. So ultimately yield will not be there. Yield will come that whatever that oil or whatever you are going to get, plastic waste to fuel, that yield will be based on the polymer content in the waste. So that is also one of the problem which one of the plastic waste to fuel operator, he told to me that because if it is only polyethylene and polypropylene, that is good. If it is polyethylene, polypropylene mixed together, then we can definitely feed into this and we can get a good result. So, but when everything mixed together, there is a non-plastic content also, and other than PPP, other plastic waste is also there. So then this becomes that yield and operation, because this is again high electricity consumption plant. Whatever this automated plant, this particular plant picture, what I'm showing, what I remember, this is from Poland. Poland, one company used to be there, and they used to propagate this technology in the name of what I remember is T technology or something. They used to classify this plant as a polymer energy plant. They used to name, they have named it as a polymer energy plant. But this plant was requiring high content every day. You have to say 6 to 7 ton plastic waste is needed. So wherever you want to operate this, so because of that, I have heard now that a small size plastic waste to fuel plants are operating in Maharashtra, or even in Madhya Pradesh, in Indore also I heard that there is smaller size waste to fuel plant is under operation. Now, another thing is that in India, if you see that plastic waste management rule also, you'll find multi-layer packaging or mixed waste or commingled. So now for this, there are companies based in Mumbai. One company is there, which earlier used to be Deluxe. Now it is called EcoLink. There's another company called Shakti, and now Delhi, Greater Noida also recently one company started operating this mixed waste recycling. They are converting into a kind of a plastic wood, they say, or it is a replacement of plywood, or sometimes they are telling chipboard. So they are giving one option for multi-layer plastic, multi-layer packaging, which where the different layer is there of multi-layer, and which cannot be, if you have to go for a mechanical recycling, all multi-layer component, you have to separate it out, segregate it out. So instead of that, this one option is there that you can, and I think you all are from polymer background, so you know that the problem of plastic waste management in India is related to multi-layer plastic, also multi-layer packaging. That's how our all this what we say, that tobacco pouches or masala pouches, what we say in North India, those pouches were banned. That plastic, which is a multi-layer, that aluminum foil is there, plastic is there, different layer is there. So because of that, now another global theme is there to make mechanical recycling easier, that people are more and more trying to develop multi-layer packaging based on mono material. Mono means either it should be all PE, and that same, why multi-layer packaging used to be used, because for a barrier resistance, aroma barrier, to increase the shelf life of any kind of food packaging. So now companies like Dow Chemical and many other companies, they are working on this, that this multi-layer packaging layers can be mono material. Mono material means either only it will be polyethylene based, or this is one option. Another option, what I am trying to show, that some people in Indian context, they are trying to already few plants are operating. That's called multi-layer pouch, or even mixed waste is there. Either you can produce lumber, or you can do a chipboard or plyboard kind of. These are some of the product which are visible, which is a replacement of board. Sometimes people say it is a plastic wood also. North America, this has been happening. To be very frank, I have seen this kind of thing as earlier as in 1997. 97, we have gone for UNIDO fellowship. Those days I have seen this all mixed waste, plastic waste are being mixed together, and they go by a ram extruder and they produce like this kind of a solid profile, either rod or something, and then it goes to a compression molded also, and compression molded area, everything is made in a proper structure. One thing is that they were making it called pallets. It is like wooden pallet which is used for shipping. So this kind of product is called poly pallet. That mixed waste recycling product can be converted into this also. But in India, still we are pursuing these kind of options, and very few companies are doing it. But maybe now government trust is there on the plastic waste management in a big way. So maybe in future you are going to see more and more this kind of waste management initiative in our country also. So thank you very much. I think this much is enough, and for whatever that topic was given, I tried to cover up whatever that scenario which is now currently prevailing in India or global, and I wanted to update also whatever is happening both at Indian context and in global context. So thank you very much. And now I would be interested that there are a few questions I can be, I don't know, is there, I am trying to see some chats are there if there are questions. So I'll let me see if there are few questions are there or not. Dr. Irfan, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, so I think this is I think this much is enough for today's session, and I'd like to
very
request.
elaborate.
Yeah, I think I don't know. You have given me still time is there 10-15 minutes, so I thought that I should because as I was telling in online sessions, sometimes we don't know, we are not able to see anyone. So whether so we in between interaction, or but still if some chat or some questions are there, I'd be happy to answer those.
Yeah, somebody was asking about plastic waste in concrete.
Plastic waste?
Concrete, yeah.
No, it is not in actually what happens, they make like a concrete kind of definitely they mix like what they are doing in road construction. Similar way they are doing it. They are making blocks like you say bricks. So those kind of structure I have seen people are working for, particularly for mixed waste.
But so far, the technology is not so advanced.
Yeah, no, the problem is that for your information, Dr. Irfan, and to all of road construction, for your information, this is going on for last maybe almost Professor Vasudevan from Madurai University has first started and talking about this, and maybe I remember I was in Chennai between 2005-6, and now still 2021 we are talking the waste to road. So sometime the specification wise, because whenever we go for this kind of civil construction, building construction or road construction, so a specification has to be verified, validated by those agencies like BIS is for general, but for road, Indian Road Congress. So I remember that plastic waste for road construction, we were talking, but still IRC specification, they were not verifying. They were telling that they want to first test it on different roads, whether it can be used in highway or state highway. And so like that, this thing was done. But for concreting, again, I would say that the polymer concrete application, I have seen in Canada that one full house in 1997, we have seen in Canada one house was used using this polymer concrete. So we cannot say that polymer concreting or polymer concrete, because they used to say that the whole house is constructed based on polymer concrete, again, by utilizing plastic waste and all those things. So that was one of the, but in Indian context, still we cannot say that it has become popular or technology, everybody has adopted it. But in developed country like this, I have personally seen that one plastic house, everything was that like now whatever I was talking about, that we are using this plastic based chipboard, or instead of the structure, temporary structure and all, we can use that mixed waste plastic recycling. So likewise, I have memory that we have been taken to a place where the whole house was prepared by plastic, and they used to say it is a plastic house, and they used to say they have used this polymer concrete.
I think there are some questions, but that they are very specific. What is maximum percentage of yield for LDP to fuel? And
What is the question? Yeah, please.
what is the maximum percentage of yield for LDP to fuel? If we convert LDP to fuel, what will be the maximum percentage of yield? I think it more or
What
less.
is the, no, let me see. I am also trying to see his question. What is the yield for LDP to fuel? I have got it up to 55% only. See, yield is what I remember, that the plant, what I have shown, that the Poland plant, I remember yield used to go, if it is your mix is only polyethylene and polypropylene, this Poland tea technology, they used to claim that yield will be to the tune of 70 to 80%, because up to 80% yield used to be there. If it goes in a form of a polyethylene only, then the yield will be very high.
Yes, so that all depends on catalysts on the plant itself, and there are different reasons. What is the effect of temperature, particularly in summer season?
There's a kind of pyrolysis only. What we say, that this process is nothing but a pyrolysis, and again, because every technology provider, they patented it, and they used to because the technology whomsoever we are taking, ultimately it goes back to its original root only. When we talk about plastic polymer energy source is what? Either crude oil or natural gas, or we can say agriculture, or we can say coal block, that methane technology. So the polyethylene, polypropylene also, that ethylene, when you talk about natural gas, from ethane, we take ethane, and ethane is, when you talk about polymerization. So same way, if ethylene is there, we go back to the same route, whatever that crude oil route or oil. So this is by pyrolysis process, and it is again, the technology, sometimes some of the technology are proprietary, and they don't give proper, you can say, means until unless we buy their technology, then only we get more and more information. But in a normal academic sense, definitely that we know that this has come from oil, and pyrolysis is a method by which we can again go back to the same route.
Yes.
Now I have seen another question: what is the effect of temperature, particularly in summer season, for plastic road construction? So this is if Mr. Rabindranath Barik has sent me, and what I because again, this is, I am not a road related research I have not done, but I am based on a CRI report, Central Road Research Institute. I found there one presentation. If I will try to find out that presentation, I will share with Mr. Rabindranath. That presentation, they say that whatever road was constructed in different places, there is even different season, they were perfectly fine, even in summer season and everything. So they have done this testing, and they say that it is these roads are more stable irrespective of the season. This question was asked by someone also when I was in a seminar, and someone has asked about this. So what I remember, that this is CRRI has got this data about this, that what is the effect of this, and that is the reason that they would have studied everything. That is how that Ministry of Surface and Road Transport, they have notified also that they have to use that. So it should be. I think you are definitely, your question would be that when the temperature is more, it should not happen that plastic waste is there, but we are not completely 100% plastic. So my feeling is that there should not be any issue. And over last so many years, this has been now definitely this particular road construction mode or method might have been matured, because this has been, we are knowing since 2005-6, but now 2021 also people are talking still that this is a new, but it's not a new. But the only thing is that all this question, temperature, that humidity, and even the low temperature, somewhere that low temperature is there. So my feeling is that this is definitely it would be there. Now I've seen one plastic waste to fuel unit. So this I can straight away say that if suppose you have to have a plant, at least a imported technology or imported plant, which can at least convert, you can say 200 ton per month. So 200 ton per month plastic waste plant will be costing around 10 crore rupees. This is based on some technology from Europe. This is, I think Mr. Karthik K. Kandaswamy has asked this. So this is based on the imported technology, which is a patented technology. So for 200 ton means roughly 6-7 ton per month, per day if you want to use. So the cost of the plant and machinery will be around 10 crore.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed an honor. It has always been so enriching and so knowledgeable session with you. And we'll continue bothering you in future also, whenever we are conducting such FDPs or any other program, because we want to understand the topic from the persons who are actually actively involved and engrossed in this subject, rather than going by bookish knowledge. And for the information, for a general information, all the speakers in this FDP, I have tried to involve only people who have some practical industry knowledge, or directly people who are from the industry, so that the inputs from industry can be brought into the academia, and so that this divide is reduced and we can get better information of this situation that is arising right now. On behalf of the organizing committee, on behalf of the CPET IPT Lucknow family, I am really thankful to you for sparing your valuable time and guiding us this afternoon. It was a tremendous informative session, and I'm sure nobody felt asleep, though it was post lunch session. And I must say that it was one of the most enriching sessions so far. And I am hopeful that all of the faculty members will take these inputs, and I'll be sharing the presentation as you have rightly said. So thank you so much, sir. We'll end up this lecture here. Thank you once again for being here today.
Thank you, Dr. Irfan. Thank you all faculty members from definitely maybe across India. So I'm thankful for patiently hearing me, because I am not seeing most of you, but hopefully nobody would have slept, because this was after lunch session. So sometime again I pray or wish that in future this session should be held in a conference room or somewhere, so that we can have a direct interaction with everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, CPET and Dr. Irfan and your principal director, that for inviting me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you will permit me to leave now.
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Irfan.
Since we are virtually at the end of the session, I just request you all to wait for a while, because I'll be showing some videos which are very informative, and most of the questions related to them propped up during the interaction. So I felt, why not, if we can incorporate those videos, it will be very wonderful and useful. So we have got some 5-6 minutes. This is the story of Indore. I'll try to share this. sometimes we are so habitual of understanding whatever is being fed to us through videos that it becomes easy for us to understand that what exactly is being done across India. I have certain case studies, videos which are showing certain practical case studies of various cities in India. So I'll just play a few of them so that all of us are aware at what is happening in our country right now.
इलेवन हंड्रेड टन पर डे का जो वेस्ट निकलता है वो पूरा प्रोसेस नहीं हो पा रहा था, वो एक्यूमुलेट हो रहा था, और प्लस जो पहले का 40-50 सालों का एक्यूमुलेटेड वेस्ट था वो वहां पे पड़ा हुआ था। तो इन दो चीजों को एड्रेस करना था। एक तो हमें प्रोसेसिंग को 100% करना था जिससे कि अभी का हमारा जो वेस्ट है वो ड्रिंकिंग ग्राउंड में डंप ना हो, और दूसरा जो ऑलरेडी डंप्ड गार्बेज है उसको हम लोग कैसे क्लियर करें। सबसे पहला काम था कि सारी चीजों को ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन मिनिमम करते हुए कैसे हम लोग ऑटोपायलट मोड पे लेके जा सके, इनकी मॉनिटरिंग को कैसे हम लोग सॉफ्टवेयर बेस्ड कर सके। इसके लिए रोड फ्लो कलेक्शन के लिए हमने टीटीएस कंट्रोल रूम बनाया। 19 स्क्रीन हम लोगों ने अलग अलग लगा रखे, वहां पे हमारा ऑपरेटर बैठता है, वो फिर उनको रिजॉल्व करता है। कुछ टॉप डिवाइसेस हमने दे रखी है जीपीएस कंट्रोल रूम में जो मेंटेन जो मिल गई है। दो टाइप के होते हैं, वेट वेस्ट होता है, ड्राई वेस्ट होता है। वेट वेस्ट से हम लोग जनरली कंपोस्ट बनाते हैं और यहाँ पे मीथेन भी बनाते हैं। ड्राई वेस्ट में हम लोगों ने पहले यहाँ पे पूरा मैनुअल डेफिनेशन था, वेस्ट पूरा हम लोग इकट्ठा करते थे, लेकिन 700-800 प्रैक्टिकल्स करने
This is Bandung, India's most southern city, and Kerala's state capital. Gandhi once called it the evergreen city of India. Until recently, the city was covered with myriads of plastic bottles, littering every corner of the landscape. Crunched, obviously, under feet on busy streets, backyards, and even holy sites. Today, there's hardly a bottle in sight, the result of a new nationwide campaign, a new prerogative for India to clean up its recycling act. Just how has a country with such a propensity to litter achieved some of the highest recycling levels in the world? Tourism has increased in Trivandrum in the past few years. The consumption of plastic bottles has dramatically increased. But where are all these used bottles? Wandering under the coconut trees, I meet Ambu, a 76-year-old grandmother.
അതുകൊണ്ട് വാങ്ങിക്കും കൊണ്ടുകൊടുക്കും പിന്നെ പൈസ ഇടമൊക്കെ തിന്നേരം അല്ല വലിയ ലാഭമൊന്നുമില്ല അല്ലാതെ മുറുക്കാൻ വാങ്ങിക്കാനോ അല്ല ചായ കുടിക്കാനോ പൈസ എത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ അവര് ഇതെല്ലാം വാരിക്കൊണ്ട് കളയും ഇപ്പോഴൊക്കെ വാരിക്കൊണ്ടൊന്നും കളയില്ലെല്ലാം കൂട്ടി വെച്ചിട്ട് പൈസക്ക് കൊടുക്കും എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ കടയിൽ കൊണ്ട് കൊടുക്കും അതൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് അറിയാം അവരൊക്കെ പോയിട്ടില്ല
Right, the scrap shop, locally known as the Acme shop, is about 3 kilometers. It costs Amber approximately $4 for the ride. If she earns less than this for the load, she's making a loss and cannot pay the driver.
അത് തമിഴ്നാട്ടിലായിട്ട് അവരവിടെ എന്താ ചെല്ലുന്ന കാര്യം എല്ലാ പക്ഷെ അതേ സാധനം അതേപോലെ അരച്ച് അതേ മുട്ട അത് ഇതെല്ലാം അരച്ച് ഇങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ടുപോകണം ഇതുപോലെ സാധനം തന്നെ
Because the recycling industry operates in large volumes, it does not have any direct contact with waste difference. Acme shops act as the intermediaries, buy any recyclable material for coffee makers and sell them on to the big factories in other parts of the Indian subcontinent. This is the nation. This business is not just an ordinary apple shop, but also a small recycling factory.
നല്ല ഒരു അഭിപ്രായം തന്നെ. നമുക്ക് ഇനി ഒരുപാട് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ചെയ്യാം. നമ്മൾ പുതിയതായിട്ട് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ചെയ്യാം. ആർപ്പി ഇട്ട് അതിനെ നമുക്ക് കുട അടിക്കാനോ ബക്കറ്റ് അടിക്കാനോ എന്ത് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാം. എനിക്ക് അതിനൊക്കെ വലിയ താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. ഇത് തുടങ്ങിയതേ കുട ഉണ്ടാക്കാനായിട്ട് തുടങ്ങിയതാണ്. നല്ലതുപോലെ ഇത് ബിസിനസ് ഒന്ന് ഡെവലപ്പ് ആക്കിയിട്ട് പിള്ളേർക്ക് ജോലി കൊടുക്കണം എന്നുള്ള ആഗ്രഹമെല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ കേരളത്തിൽ നടക്കില്ല. അത് ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളത് ശരിയില്ല. നേതാക്കൾ നശിക്കുന്നത്.
As the only plastic recycler in Dwivedi, the nation will be entitled to receive various development grants from national and international environmental foundations. But where could it turn to? It will prove assisting with the complicated process of applying for small business grants.
Real change, we may be discussing this for days altogether, but the real change which is happening at the ground level, it has been overtaken by the people who are dedicated, probably the poor people from different various backgrounds, who are collecting it through, I can say, the crude waste. They are using crude waste to collect the waste, to segregate. You saw these women in Ganeshan's factory, how they were segregating it by bare hands. And this is how India's waste is currently getting segregated, getting into the recycling circles. So there is a lot of opportunity, like we saw with what Ekta yesterday was discussing, that they have organized this unorganized sector. And with the intervention of digital technology, this sector is certainly going to grow. And there are a lot of opportunities. Whenever you talk to your students who become entrepreneurs, do show them this, that there is huge opportunity in plastic waste management or in waste management as a general rule. And there's no social stigma attached to it, because as far as it's profitable, so we can easily go to it and form a different culture in our country wherein nothing ends up as a waste. I am thankful to all of you for being patient listeners throughout the day, and to all these learned and able resource persons, speakers today, who have been putting on some great analysis and some great records for all of us to learn. And remember, this is the start of the journey. We still have a lot more to come. Please join us tomorrow, and please join the WhatsApp group. If you are not able to join the WhatsApp group, please let us know. Please revert back on the email ID that we had sent you email from. We'll get you attached to that group, and I'll try to send you the presentation of Mr. Rajeev Dwivedi, as well as some more resource material today, so that you can read it. And rest assured, we'll be sharing all these recordings in future with all of you. Don't worry about that. And as far as the tomorrow's session is concerned, we have three distinguished persons as resource persons. Dr. Samir Joshi. The only identity of all three of them is that they are passionate warriors, and I'll introduce them tomorrow. Dr. Samir Joshi, Lohia, and Captain Satyendra Vaidya, and to be frankly speaking, they are right now at the forefront. They are at the frontier, and they are in Leh trying to convince helping the district administration of Leh to solve the problem of plastic waste, because Leh is a far off place. They don't have right avenues for industries for such. So all three of them are stationed in Leh right now, and they have consented that they'll be giving their presentation despite their meetings tomorrow. So in case there is any delay, I'll be updating you. But I have been getting some personal requests from many people regarding some aspects of plastic waste management, which we had covered in our last FDP, but we couldn't get them, which are very basic, which couldn't get them here. So I'll be trying to address a few in the morning session also, with some videos on plastic roads, because we have been discussing them today, and more to come. So we end up today's session here. It has